Morning, guys. I'm good, thanks.
Hey, Jay.
Hi.
I just had Warren Fogle out here earlier. Can you kind of just talk about what you hope to see from him this season, improvements maybe you hope to see from him from last year?
Yeah, Warren's a proud NHL hockey player that wants to, in the prime of his career, that wants to have the best season that he can. And he's a real analytical person. He's someone that spent a lot of time in the summer thinking of ways that he could improve. Spent a lot of time in the gym. This guy works very, very hard. I met with Warren close to his house in the summertime, and we just sat down and we mapped out a game plan for his season. We mapped out a game plan for his training camp, and I think he's looked very good through these first 6 or so days. He's someone who we're giving a shot to on the penalty kill, especially in preseason here, to try and enhance his role and get him some more minutes. He's a popular teammate. Guys like this guy. He puts in a lot of hard work, and as I said, he's had a real good start to his training camp.
He mentioned how, he'd like to play on the PK this year. What specifically does he need to do in order to have regular minutes on the penalty?
Well, yeah, I think that question goes back to last year. I think the penalty kill started out very hot for the team last year, and then it struggled mightily. It struggled mightily from December 1st until basically the beginning of February there, and the numbers weren't where they wanted it to be. One of the things Dave Manson and I wanted to do when we first came up was to adjust some of the things on the penalty kill systematically. Yes, just small tweaks here and there. But we wanted to introduce some more people on that kill. And where I went to as a coach was I wanted to go where I had some answers. And for me, I knew certain things about players that had played for us down in Bakersfield on that penalty kill. So all of a sudden you saw Ryan McLeod's minutes go up on the penalty kill. You saw Kyler Yamamoto's minutes go up on the penalty kill. And the penalty kill responded, started to kind of right the ship there, had good numbers from February till the end of the year and into the playoffs. And because we had that, there wasn't a ton of opportunity for other people on that. When I sat with Warren in the summertime, I explained that to him, and I just said, get ready because you're going to get your chance here in training camp. As you saw in that first preseason game at home against Winnipeg, he played a lot on the penalty kill. We're going to continue to give him looks. Now it's up to him to make good on him.
Jay, just want to divert for a second. Can you tell me a little bit about Bobby Moore and the character you played in Separate Vacation, your acting career?
Yeah, I heard that. I had some friends texting me and stuff like that, and I saw the stuff at Littlest Hobo and all that kind of stuff. That stuff, when I was a really young kid, that is, part of my life. And I think when I was Littlest Hobo, I was under 2 years old. That's a part of my life. It's part of our family's life. It was, for me, the one side benefit to that as a little kid was you felt comfortable going into any type of room. And I think that skill helps me in my position right now. But those were extras and small parts. And, as I said, some buddies were texting me and all that kind of stuff this morning. But I'm not a big social media guy, so I didn't even know about this stuff. For me, part of our job as a coaching staff is to try and eliminate the noise around the team and make sure we are putting our. So I had a chuckle this morning, but that's about it.
Now, the movie, though, Separate Vacations, for a team bonding, would you ever show that? Have you ever showed any of your acting chops?
I will tell you this, Jason. I'm going to give you a little scoop right here. Was when I was a coaching Bakersfield, we would do these things where we called them about me's. And it was for our hockey team to kind of get to know each other and come together, and players would tell their life story. And sometimes they were emotional, sometimes they were funny, those type of things. And the rule always was, if you spoke, you presented before practice to the team, that you got to pick the next speaker. And one day someone picked me. And I can tell you that I did share that with the team. And I said, not many people know this, but as a young man, this is something, when I was a little boy, that was part of my life. And I showed them some of it, just to show a little bit of vulnerability to the group too.
Hi, Jay. Oh.
And the guys were laughing and having a good time with it. They were having fun with it, and as they should. But more importantly, they got to know something about their coach and that he was in it with them. And as I said before, part of my job and part of the coaching staff's job is to make sure we eliminate all the outside noise. But, there's times for levity, and that was one of them.
I'm not sure if you saw the list yourself, Jay, but you were joined at the top by Daryl Sutter. Just your thoughts on that, if you have any.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not a big social media guy, but I had some former players that I'd coached, and some buddies in my life reach out and rip on me a little bit, and I think that's always it's always healthy when your buddies keep you in check. And so had a laugh about it, but again, our focus is on making sure that we're getting what we need here in training camp, putting our players first, and kind of eliminating that outside noise.
I can relate to that. In 2005, I was voted the best-looking sportscaster at Edmonton, and my wife asked whether or not there was another Bob Stauffer that did sports at Edmonton. Interesting story. You're obviously not going with a heavy Oilers lineup. What are you looking for? You want the team obviously to be competitive. There's some opportunities on an individual basis, but in the back of your mind, do you look at it? Wait a sec here. They are dressing a large percentage of their players that are going to be with them. Just a thought on that.
Yeah, well, it's not dissimilar to what Seattle either, right? I think that's quite common in preseason. Most teams try and dress a veteran-heavy lineup at home. I look at tonight as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for some individuals to create a little separation in their battles to make the team. I look at tonight as an opportunity for our team to grow its game. I really like the steps that we've hit along the way here through the first few days of training camp. I thought we were competitive early in some tough practices. We had a scrimmage versus each other in a blue-white scrimmage where we saw some good things. And then through the first two preseason games, I've seen some growth. And so for me, I look at tonight as nothing other than a great opportunity for some individuals, but also for our team to take a step, and we're going in there and we're going to give a real good effort.
Hi, Jay. Going back to Warren Foegele, he admitted it was a roller coaster year when he spoke earlier today. When a player is going through those tough times as a hockey player, how do you try not to overcoach while giving advice and kind of letting the player kind of play through it?
Yeah, I think it's part of learning the players on your team. So learning the people that make up your team, what makes them tick, what buttons to press, what type of stimulus they respond to. I think you learn that over time. And for me, I think Warren was at or just under his career high in goals last year, I think. He gave us good minutes. He's a big body that got in on the forecheck. So while last year might not have gone according to script for him, I think there's positives to be taken out of that year. And as I said, I met him in the summertime trying to game plan what his, what the start to his year should look like, how important training camp was, and create a line of sight for him so that he can take on a little bit more here. But again, I'm going to go back to it. The opportunity's there. Now he's got to make good on it.
Is tonight a real good opportunity for you to see where some of your penalty killers like Foegele and other guys are at? Calgary's going with a lot of their top guys, specifically the top power play unit. Do you build a lineup a little bit with saying, hey, I want these guys on the penalty kill, and this will be a better test than maybe going against some AHL power play guys?
I think during preseason, you always go in, you want to make sure you have enough people that can populate a power play, enough people that can populate a penalty kill. I thought in Seattle, that was a power play unit for them. They had some real good players out there. Our kill went 6 for 6. So, you know, that had been a focal point of practice over the first 4 or 5 days of practice, where we're putting a little bit more concentration on the penalty kill side of things. As we get more towards what will be our lineup, you'll see a little bit more work done on the power play. A little bit was introduced today. I think it is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to command ice time. We said right from day one that you know, there were jobs here, but more than that, there's ice time here, and there's privileged or special teams ice time available. You know, you could put people in positions to show you what they can do. And, you know, we're going to try and make the best decisions possible based on the information they give us throughout this preseason.
Jay, what's the injury update on Vinny Desharnais?
Yeah, so Vinny, you know, they were hoping that things would heal. You know, he was injured in the captain's skates before training camp had started. They were hoping that it would heal over time. It didn't end up healing over time, and the player made a decision to have surgery. So it's my understanding that the surgery went really well. I don't foresee it being, you know, too many weeks, but he'll be out for a few weeks for sure. He's week to week.
Jay, we may not know the full lineup, but can we know your plans with the goaltending tonight?
Goaltending, Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard will be with us.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, guys.